Hello again, everybody. It's another Friday with Father Scott, and this week we're going to focus on the third Sunday of Easter. Again, the gospel selection for the third Sunday of Easter is from the Gospel of Luke. And it picks up where Jesus has encountered two of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. The two disciples recounted what had taken place on the way and how Jesus was made known to them in the breaking of bread. And while they were speaking about this, he stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." But they were startled and terrified and thought they were seeing a ghost. Then he said to them, "Why are you troubled, and why do questions arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." And as he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. While they were still incredulous for joy and were amazed, he asked them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of baked fish. He took it and ate it in front of them. He said to them, "These are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and in the prophets and Psalms must be fulfilled." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures. And he said to them, "Thus it is written that the Christ would suffer and rise from the dead on the third day, and that repentance for the forgiveness of sins would be preached in his name to all the nations, beginning from Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things." The gospel of the Lord. And so here we are today again in the kitchen, and Jesus appears as the two disciples are recounting what had happened to them on that journey to Emmaus. And as they're speaking, Jesus appears in the gathering of the faithful disciples. And he begins to ask them, "Well, give me something to eat." And they gave him baked fish. Because a ghost doesn't eat, and a ghost doesn't have flesh and bones as he did. He was trying to convey that it was him. It was he himself who was standing before them and speaking with them. And suddenly the challenge becomes that you and I become witnesses of all that Jesus said and did. I could hand you something good, from the snack bowl over here, or a chocolate bunny here, or a little coconut bunny that one of our parishioners made for us to share. Just like the disciples gathered in that room were asked to give something to Jesus. But most importantly today, we're called to be witnesses. And oftentimes in the Greek, the word for witness is martyr. And most of the disciples will pay that price in their witnessing to Jesus. And you and I probably won't be, but we're called to witness in fact, in word, and in deed. So how do we preach the gospel? Becomes important, because when we walk out, we're on stage. So today, as we gather and we hear the power of the gospel, we're called to be a witness. What we see, we're called to share. What we've experienced, we're called to share. How we've been loved, we're called to share. So today, as we hear Jesus call to follow him, we're called to witness. So think about the way that you might give witness to him in your life. First, in word and in deed. I think actions speak louder than words. So there you go. Give somebody a hug. Write someone a letter. Pick up the phone and give someone a call. Or whip out your cell phone and give someone a call. We're called to witness. And we are his witnesses, first and foremost. So until we meet again, watch out for one another, take care of one another, especially those in our neighborhoods, our families that may be alone, and witness the power and glory of the season of Easter. Take care, and see you next time.